Hey, what's up everyone, Gurkirat here, and today I'm going to show you my July 2020 manga haul slash just stay in the industry. This haul is going to consist of just two series, but I got a lot of volumes of these two series. Anyways, let's get into opening the boxes. Alright, so some pro tips when you're trying to open a box that has manga in it. Just try to cut away from yourself, and also just try to cut the sides first, so that way you can just pull the tape apart and you don't even risk cutting the manga. If you're trying to cut into the box, just try to cut the sides first. Alright, so now that we've got all the boxes open and they're out of the way, let's actually take a look at the manga. Out of the two series that I bought this month, the first I'll show you is Hunter x Hunter by Yoshihiro Togashi. So for those of you that don't know, Hunter x Hunter is written and illustrated by Yoshihiro Togashi, who also happens to be the illustrator and author of Yu Yu Hakusho, which is another series that you probably would have heard of. If you're into Battle Shonen, that is, I guess. He's also married to the creator of Sailor Moon, which I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. But yeah, they're a pretty famous anime manga creator couple. So I didn't actually ever think that I would own the Hunter x Hunter manga because, honestly, if you've heard from the fans of it even, they're not the biggest fans of Takashi's art. And since the 2011 anime exists, most people just recommend watching that if you're trying to get into the series, because the quality is just taken to another level with the anime. And it's one of the few cases where you can probably argue that the anime is better than the manga, just because of things like music and the art and animation being really well done, take it to another level that the manga just couldn't. And I think I kind of agreed with the fans in that I probably wasn't going to ever buy the manga, but then since I'm just such a huge fan of the series, I decided that I'd buy it, just because it's good to have like a physical thing to show your fandom. And I didn't mind buying a series that I was already really into with the anime and whatnot. So there's volume 21. The reason that some of the volumes are missing in my haul is because I've already actually owned them. Like, I already owned a few volumes in my collection from years ago when I started collecting. So I already owned like volume 1 because I just bought it at a convention one time. And also like volume 31, 33, and 34. The reasons I owned like 1 and then in 30s is because 31, 33, and 34, I think I got them when they actually came out. At least for 33 and 34. I don't know about 31. Because it was like Hunter x Hunter is known for being on long hiatuses. And honestly, before you get into this series, you should know that it's probably never going to end, which I'm kind of okay with. But the way it's kind of going right now, we do get the vibe that it's never really going to end because of how many hiatuses Yoshihiro Togashi takes. But with what we've gotten from the story so far, I think most people are satisfied with it. But just be warned, I guess, before you try to get into the series that there is a chance that it won't end. But also, you just got to know that you can always check out the anime instead of the manga, because I think the conclusion that the anime ended on was a really good place to stop. But yeah, that's my Hunter x Hunter haul for this month. I got up to volume 36, which is, I think, the current most volume in Japan and outside of Japan, obviously. So I own the majority of the series now, but there are a few volumes that are missing because they're just kind of hard to find, at least in Canada. I think for me it was like volume 19 is really hard to find, so that's one of the ones I didn't get. But I think that once there's another Viz sale on Indigo, which is essentially the Canadian version of Barnes & Noble's, they usually have like a 40% off Viz Media sale, which is the company that publishes Hunter x Hunter in North America. They're going to have a sale eventually around Black Friday, and that's probably when I'll grab the rest of the volumes that I don't own. But yeah, for right now, I have the majority of Hunter x Hunter, and I'm happy with that. The next of the two series that I got in my July manga haul is Black Cat by Kentaro Yabuki. So some of you might recognize this manga's art. It's actually because he's also the illustrator of To Love Ru. Because I know that like one of the character designs for one of the main characters in this series is really similar to one of the character designs of one of the main characters in To Love Ru. And I think it's this character specifically. I think her name's Eve in this manga, but I'm not sure about what her name is in To Love Ru because I've never seen or read that series. But if you know, then please let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, he's also the protege of the artist for Death Note. Basically, when he was starting to get into drawing manga, he studied under, I think his name is Takeshi Obata. It might be Sugumi Oba because I might be mixing up who's the illustrator and who's the writer for Death Note. But he studied under the illustrator of that series before he started writing his own manga. And Black Cat is completely written and illustrated by him. It's not just his illustrations, it's also his writing. The series, for me, is something that I watched when I was first getting into anime. I watched the anime for it. But as a lot of anime are, it doesn't actually finish the story with the first season of the anime, or I guess the only season of the anime at the time. So there's only one season of the anime, and it didn't finish the story. It had an anime original ending. And I always thought that I should check out the manga because it's just something that I wanted to read and understand the full story of. And when I was first getting into collecting manga, I actually bought like the first 3 volumes of the series. But then around that time, a few of the volumes went like really out of print. And it was really difficult to find certain volumes, especially this one coming up, volume 15. I think it's like almost $100 on sites like eBay and Amazon if you get it from a third-party seller. They're charging up the ass for it, pardon my language. But yeah, they're charging a lot for this volume specifically, and a few others in the series, because it's out of print and Viz hasn't printed them in a while. But the thing is, I would have never bought this series, and I was just going to read it on the Shonen Jump app. But then somebody in my local area, they were selling every single volume on Kijiji. They're selling the entire series for $50. And I know for a lot of manga collectors, when they hear such a low price for an entire 20-volume series, they just don't believe you. And I wouldn't believe someone either if they said they got it for that cheap. Basically, each volume, if you did the math, it's like $2.50 for each volume for a 20-volume series for $50. And I've never really gotten a good deal like this either. And I was just really surprised when I saw the ad. I didn't believe it when I saw it at first. But then I messaged them, the seller, and then they were like, yeah, I'm selling for $50. If you can meet up in the next few days, I'll give them all to you and actually deliver them. And then within a couple days, I owned the entire Black Cat manga, something that I never really thought I would own because a lot of the volumes are out of print. And I was just going to read it on the Shonen Jump app because they have it on there. But now that I physically own it, I think I have more incentivized to read it finally, because I can actually own the entire collection now. Honestly, if I end up not really enjoying it as much as I thought I would, I might just flip them because all the volumes are in really good condition, and as long as I got to read it, and then even if I don't end up enjoying it, I can get some money, well, not even back, I'll make some money off of it, selling the entire collection. Because seeing it for that low of a price, it's just like a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and I had to grab them. So yeah, now I'm going to check this manga out, and I'll tell you guys what I thought about it in a later haul or a later video, I suppose. So there's pretty much all of what I own of Hunter x Hunter so far. It's the majority of the series, but there's still a few volumes missing here and there. And I actually do have some of them coming in still, but they're not going to come in for another couple weeks at least. But I wanted to show what I got sooner rather than later. Here's also what I own of Black Cat, which is 1 through 20 complete. A deal like the one that I found is really rare, and I just got really lucky with it because all the volumes also have the matching Viz logo, and they're not mix and match like the Hunter x Hunter volumes I own, because I bought some of the Hunter x Hunter volumes before Viz changed their logo. So that always kind of sucks as a collector to see that they don't match, like with the Death Note. I mean, the Berserk volumes I have here. They have the old Dark Horse logo and the new one. It kind of sucks when that type of thing happens, but you just kind of learn to deal with it. Because it won't ruin the experience of the series, but it just doesn't look the greatest on the shelf. Well, everyone, that was my manga haul / just stay in the industry for the month of July 2020. If you want to know where you can get deals like the one that I found for the Black Cat manga, I have a video about where to buy manga for cheap. I'll link that in the description below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, then please leave a like as it helps the channel out, and also subscribe because then you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, let me know in the comments down below what manga you picked up in the month of July. Anyways, guys, that's all I really have for this one. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.